Hey guys, it's Read Aloud Saturday. We haven't been here together for a while, so I just wanted to welcome you back if you're a regular watcher of Read Aloud Saturday. Sorry, I'm adjusting my camera. And today we're going to read a back to school book, even though some of you have probably been back to school for a while. It's called School's First Day of School, and the author's name is Adam Rex. So let's check it out. That summer, they dug up the big field and poured the foundation and set brick on top of brick until they'd built a school. And you can see the name of this school is Frederick Douglass Elementary. What's the name of your school? A sign above the door read, Frederick Douglass Elementary. That's a good name for me, thought the school. What do you notice about the doors right here? What do they look like? Do you think they look like a face? Is that what you were thinking? I think so too. Most days, a man named Janitor came to mop the school and buff his floors and wash his windows. This is nice, the school said to Janitor, just the two of us. Won't be just the two of us for long, said Janitor. Soon the teachers will come, and then you'll be filled with children. Think about your classroom at school. Does it look like this one, or how is it different? How is it the same, and how is it different? The school creaked. Children? All kinds of children. They'll come to play games and to learn. Oh, said the school. Will you be here? You'll see me after the school day is over, said Janitor. Don't worry. You'll like the children. But the school thought that Janitor was probably wrong about that. Then they came. The children did, and there were more of them than the school could possibly have imagined. They got everywhere. They opened and closed all of his doors and lockers and drank water from his fountains and played on his jungle gym. So that's what that is for, thought the school. Is that your favorite time of school day? Playing outside? I know for a lot of kids it is. Just getting some fresh air and having fun. Some of the older kids gathered by the school's back fence and showed each other their bored faces. This place stinks, said one, and the school gasped. I hate school, said another with puffy hair, to the agreement of his friends. The school sagged a little. So there's all kinds of kids at school, kids that love school and kids that don't love school, right? One very small girl with freckles didn't want to come inside the school at all. Her mother had to carry her. I must be awful, the school whispered to himself. Later, he squirted the puffy-haired kid in the face and then felt bad about it afterward. So that puffy-haired kid that said school was dumb, he squirted him at the fountain. He watched the kindergarten kids sit on one of his rugs. The teacher said, as we go around this circle, please tell us your name. There was an Aiden and a Max and a Bella and another Aiden and an Emma and a Caden and a Chloe. The small girl with freckles was next, but she wouldn't speak. She only stared at her shoes until the teacher moved on. I don't like school, she whispered into her lap. Well, thought the school, maybe it doesn't like you either. So the school is kind of upset with that little girl. I want you to think about, do schools really talk? We'll talk about that at the end. The children were in their chairs finally, but just as the school was starting to relax, his fire alarm sounded, and all the children exited and walked to the other side of the field and stared at him. He was so embarrassed. He held his doors open for them when they returned. Sorry, he said as the first child entered. Sorry, 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 he told them all, even the girl with the freckles. So what were they doing there? What do they have always in the fall to practice if there's a fire? Talk to you, whoever's watching this with you, about that right now. What's that called? A fire what? At 12 o'clock, the school was filled with food. At 12:30, the school was filled with garbage. At one table, a boy told a funny joke, and another boy laughed so hard that milk came out of his nose. Now I'm covered with nose milk, thought the school. He had to admit that it was a pretty funny joke, though. Even the girl with freckles laughed. She might be getting excited about school, huh? After lunch, the kindergarten kids learned about shapes. A rectangle has 4 sides, said the teacher. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a square has 4 sides. In fact, a square is actually a special kind of rectangle. Wow, said the school. I did not know that. So the school is finding out that they go to school to learn. Let's see what happens next. Afterward, the children made pictures with glitter and paste. The girl with freckles made a picture of the school. It looks just like me, thought the school, except glittery. It's like she's known me all my life. Do you think I could have your picture? The teacher asked her. Don't tell anyone, but I think it's the best. The school thought she was probably right about that. The freckled girl smiled when the teacher stuck her drawing onto the school wall with a pushpin. Ouch, said the school, but he didn't mind, not really. Can you make some predictions about the girl with freckles and how she's feeling about school? And if her feelings have changed since the beginning of the book? At 3 o'clock, the parents came to pick up the children. At 3:30, janitor came to pick up the school. I was full of kids, the school told him, and I heard a joke, and I accidentally had a fire drill, but everyone was nice about it, and I listened to a classroom and learned about shapes. You had a big day, said janitor. Do you think, the school said, do you think you could invite everyone to come back tomorrow? Especially that little freckled girl? Janitor nodded. I'll see what I can do. Later, janitor sat on top of the school and they watched the sun go down. In the beginning, I didn't know what I was, said the school. I thought I was your house. Nope, said the janitor. I suppose some other place gets to be your house, the school added. Janitor nodded. That's true, but you get to be a school, and that's lucky. And the school thought, he was probably right about that. So that's the end of that book. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the voice in this book. So when an author writes a story, they write it from a certain point of view and from a certain character's voice usually. In this story, the voice is that of the school. And we know that schools don't talk, they're buildings and they don't actually talk. But it's fun to think about the point of view of a building like a school, and how it might be if you didn't know about school, watching school for the first time like the school did in this story. So again, School's First Day of School is the book by Adam Rex, and it was illustrated by Christian Robinson, and you can find this at your local library. Have a great Saturday and a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week.